Are you winning, son?
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I hope you've seen my first video of the day. The support has been overwhelming. I appreciate all the kind words and everybody who's moving over and supporting the channel on Subscribestar, which is a free speech Patreon alternative. We've already hit the first goal, which means we'll be doing some alt tech exclusives, and we are very close to clearing the second goal. So if you haven't yet, please watch the first video, and if you're in a position to, make today the day you back on Subscribestar. I've never needed your support more. The first video will explain that. Now, Disney is in a world of hurt right now from a PR perspective. And what's interesting to me is the very same stands who, wanted Gina Carano fired are looking pretty bad right now. I mean, they're literally embarrassed. I mean, their hypocrisy is never been more clear, and I'm going to show you exactly what happened, and it's hilarious. All these people that say, well, Gina isn't woke enough, I'm going to double subscription to Disney Plus to own the conservatives. Okay, well, I want to let you know that there is a new development that taints every single dollar that Disney accepts from China. It is probably one of the worst developments for them from a PR perspective since Mulan. Just a brief, rundown of this woke company. Remember, Disney is constantly telling you the force is female and everything is, diverse and inclusive. This is a company that just a few months ago, Disney criticized for filming Mulan in China's Xinjiang province. This is the area where millions of Uyghur Muslims have been held against their will. Women have been sterilized, men in work camps. This is happening in March of 2021. Now, the complex way our government would have to deal with it is beyond my pay grade, but certainly backing companies that take money from China would be an easy thing for most social justice people who say they care about social justice. This is a company that literally Mulan specifically thanked the publicity department of the CPC Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region Committee in the credits. The place where they're being erased. They filmed extensively in Xinjiang, which the subtitles call, quote, Northwest China, as a attempt to cover it up. They don't care, right? You would think that thanking a company that, or thanking a government that is putting people in camps would be enough for any normal person to boycott. How about the same woke people, ignoring when Star Wars shrunk John Boyega's character? There is no other way to say this. Clearly, many in the Chinese population, I assume not all, I sure hope not all, many in the Chinese population are racist. They don't like black people. I mean, I believe they also, in the movie poster for Black Panther, had Boseman with his helmet on, if I remember correctly. Disney was fine literally trying to Trojan horse black people into China. They were fine covering him up. Why? I mean, again, between the poster, between what they did to Chadwick Boseman, between Mulan, any one of these things would be enough for anyone who would call themselves, a battler for social justice, that you would think that would be enough of a reason. You can see the poster here, of course. John Boyega featured prominently here on the US version, and He's tucked in right down there in the Chinese version. You barely see him. John Boyega. I was the only cast member whose experience of Star Wars was based on their race. Disney tokenized him and then threw him aside after they got all the free press. That's what Disney thinks of black people. Disney promise LGBT commitment. We want to represent our audience. This is from March of last year. This is a good thing. You know, you want to have a diverse cast, okay? Disney has promised to continue making films and TV shows with an increased commitment to diversity in its output, according to Bob Chapek. We want to represent our audience, he said in a meeting for our audience for the shareholders this week. He was responding to a question about LGBT characters in their films and pride events at theme parks. There will be a transgender character in a future Marvel film, and upcoming superhero movie The Eternals will introduce Marvel's first openly gay lead character in the cinema series. Hey, this is all fine. You know, I know that there are certain viewers of mine maybe who are particularly religious that have their own opinions about this type of stuff. I'm not a particularly religious person, and I don't think there's anything not family friendly about the presence of, you know, a diverse cast of people. You know, where I criticize things is when it's shoehorned in, or they don't create their own lore or character and they just gender bend somebody, or surprise, you're gay now kind of thing. That's lazy. I don't think it's helpful. But you know, that's where my criticism lies. There's been some criticism recently after Disney moved the Love, Simon spin-off series, or Simone, from Disney Plus streaming service to Hulu, which it also owns. They own everything. Called Love, Victor, the show is based on the film is about the teenage boy who comes out gay at high school. Variety reported that it wouldn't fit in with family-friendly shows on Disney Plus. Hilary Duff recently appeared to suggest that Lizzie McGuire reboot is on hold for a similar reason. A gay character was planned to appear in the revival of the Disney Stars show. So which is it, Disney? Then, as reported just yesterday, members of the LGBTQ community can now be referred to as suffering a mental disorder. An LGBT support group spokesman says the textbook's description is inaccurate, as saying the sun revolves around the earth. I mean, I have always been of the mindset that, you know, people are born the way they are born, and they should be able to love whomever they wish, providing, you know, they're of the appropriate age and, you know, consenting. So now, this is in February of 2021. Chinese court backs publisher of textbook, calling the LGBTQ members of the LGBTQ community as having a psychological disorder. So, just to recap, China hides black characters on their movie posters. China has camps full of people that they want to reprogram. And now they are referring to people in the LGBTQ community as having a mental disorder. All these people who defend Disney and Star Wars, I mean, Star Wars literally has, let me look this up. They literally have a new Chinese universe. Star Wars launches Chinese web novel. They've created a whole Chinese universe for Star Wars to cater to the Chinese. Does that mean there are no black people and no members of the LGBTQ community in that galaxy far, far away? I would argue that that's probably correct. That's probably true. Now imagine considering yourself woke. Imagine considering yourself a social justice advocate and giving your money to Disney and getting butthurt about people like Gina Carano, a strong, independent woman. Boy, you look pretty foolish now, don't you? I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.